Good evening and welcome back to the channel. Guys, girls, anybody else, this is truly unprecedented and I'm just throwing it out there. Just because everybody else is ignoring what's happened with Algorand over the last few days does not mean that it's an insignificant story. Just because all the big channels want to ignore all of these developments that are happening does not mean that it's not a big story. We have another very, in my opinion, a very big deal that I'm about to go over from this clip today on CNBC with Anthony Scaramucci. Now, there's a couple things I need to go over first. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, okay? But keep in mind, okay, 3 days ago, $2 billion from two different large funds, one that came straight from Wall Street, essentially, came in to Algorand, okay? Now, again, please go find me other situations like this that have happened. And that's the reason why I'm making a big deal about it, is because if this is not, everything is relative. Okay. If $2 billion was coming into Algorand, but $3, $4, $5 billion was going into other chains, okay, that puts this in perspective. But if this is not happening with other chains, and we already know that they're partnered with the World Economic Forum, we already know about all of Silvio's connections. We already know that they were accepted or they were adopted in El Salvador, the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. They also partnered with Algorand for their back-end infrastructure for their government. So all of those things, taking all those things into consideration, when this is a very, very big deal. So I'm gonna go over what happened in this clip right here. But I wanted to set the stage because just because everybody else is ignoring the $2 billion coming into Algorand, it does not negate the significance of that happening. Okay, that's not happening with other chains. And again, if it did, and I missed it because I went and looked, I couldn't find any examples like that. So if I did miss it, please, I might have. I'm just being honest. So comment below and just attach the article. Okay, so he went on CNBC, and I don't like Scaramucci. Okay, let me just be straight about that. I don't like Scaramucci. I don't trust Scaramucci. I don't like Scaramucci. That being said, my personal feelings aside, this is about ROI, this is about math, and this is about growth potential. Okay, so Scaramucci's Skybridge Fund boost crypto exposure. He was talking to him. He's like, yeah, you continue. He's like, yeah, well, some of that is just appreciation from Bitcoin going from 29 to 55. He was like, but yesterday, December 1st, we launched a $100 million fund with Algorand. Okay, and he said, Skybridge Capital Research Team believes that Algorand can flip Ethereum. And then he goes on to give his reasons as to why that is. And they just put $100 million into Algorand yesterday, on top of the $2 billion that came in 3 days ago from two other large funds. Okay, so he said on national television, we think Algorand can flip Ethereum. So, and again, I understand like somebody hearing that, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about or whatever. Understand that Scaramucci is tied in with all the people that run the show. Okay, and if you don't know anything about Scaramucci, he used to work for the previous administration. He turned on them, right? And he aligned himself with the people in charge, essentially. That's what it looks like, okay? Now, that might have all been a show. I don't know. I'm just telling you what happened. So he is very, very well connected. And the fact that he just started up not that long ago. And now he's getting heavily into cryptocurrency. And especially Algorand, I think is significant and people should pay attention. That's all I'm saying. This guy's tied into all the right people. And we just saw $2 billion come into Algorand. Okay, and he said they were talking about rebalancing your portfolio. And this is an important part here because these large funds, whether it be a VC fund, whether it be a hedge fund, normally they have portfolio allocations. So let's say they're going to put 10% into crypto and they're only going to leave 10% in there. But crypto triples. Now crypto is 25, 30% of their portfolio. Well, traditional practices would have you they would sell back down to 10%, right? But he said we're not selling our winners. No, he said maybe later on we might do something like that, but we're not going to sell our winners. And so I think that that's significant too, because I think that will be a pattern with other institutional investors, because there's nowhere else to go. This is the hottest place in the world, as far as return on investment, growth potential, and just overall interest and intrigue among the population. So there's nowhere else to go, and they know that, but they're gonna play stupid. So literally said we think that Algorand can flip Ethereum. Now I don't necessarily believe that, but I will say this: the people in charge have all the money. I mean, they have trillions and trillions of dollars. They own the money printer, okay? So in all countries. So if they want something to flip Ethereum, it will. If their goal is we're gonna jack this through the roof and it's gonna flip Ethereum, then it will. Now I don't know if it's going to, and I wouldn't bet on it flipping Ethereum. I think it's 100% possible because the very people that Algorand's working with are the people who run the world and who have all the money and who own the money printer. So is it possible? 100% it's possible, but it would have to be a calculated, strategic, to some degree manipulated. This is the one that we are choosing. We're not going to let the free market decide. Well, we're going to just decide that this is going to be the one that flips it. So we'll see what happens with that. But I do just want to mention here, right, because he said, well, Skybridge Capital thinks that our research team thinks that Algorand can flip Ethereum. Well, Scaramucci, if you would have watched my channel, bro, I did a video back on September 6, 2021, saying how Algorand can outperform ETH, Solana, ADA, and DOT over the next 5 years. Now, I did say in this video that I do not think that it's going to flip all of them as far as their market cap. I'm just talking about return on investment over the next 5 years. And I broke down their market caps. But I did say I see it flipping several of them as far as their market cap. So, because I do. Right, and that's why I said it. So I don't just make statements off the cuff. Like I do my own research, and I say, okay, this is how I see this playing out. Whether or not that happens, who knows, guys? I'm gonna get some of my calls wrong. Okay, there's gonna be times where I get on here and I say, hey guys, I got that wrong. I made an educated guess, but I think that people should at least have the courage to say this is what I think is going to happen. The problem with today's society is everybody's sitting in this weird gray area where they never actually come to any type of conclusion for themselves. They just, well, I don't know about that. Like just, hey, look at all the available information and have some type of an idea of what you think is going to happen. I don't know how people make decisions without doing that, right? I don't know, like, what are they basing their decisions off of? They're just aimlessly walking through life. Like, okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. Back to this. We are not selling our winners. We invested $100 million into Algorand yesterday. And we think Algorand can flip Ethereum on national television. On national, nobody, you're not hearing these other cryptocurrencies get mentioned on TV, right? You're hearing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Maybe a little bit about XRP in the lawsuit, but outside of that, you don't hear about any other cryptocurrencies. So you have a very, very well-known founder and CEO of a hedge fund who's also very well-known in politics come on national television and say, we think Algorand can flip Ethereum. And this is after $2.1 billion comes into their ecosystem within a 3 or 4 day period. So the reason that I want to do this video is because I know that like I get newer subscribers like as I continue to make videos, and I know that some people are kind of like, well, I think something's here, but I'm not really sure, and so on and so forth, and maybe I should get rid of this and go into this, or maybe I should get out of all this other stuff. So I'm telling you right now, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. There's no reason at all to even contemplate getting rid of any Algorand at all, period. Okay, it's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what's running through my mind. Okay, so take it, take that for what it's worth. All right. That's all I got for this video. I will link this in the comment section. I'm not even gonna put it in the description. I'll make it easy. It's gonna be in the comment section. Please go watch this video. Now watch it through the context. Again, this is not some random bro that they brought on to talk about crypto and talk about, everything going to the moon. Okay. This is a founder and CEO of a pretty decent sized hedge fund that wasn't even started up that long ago. That is essentially getting all in on cryptocurrency, who's well connected with all the people in charge. And this comes 2 to 3 days after $2 billion gets brought in from major institutional type investors that came from Wall Street, more or less. Okay. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you everyone who's liked, shared, and subscribed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this is possible? Give me a percentage. What do y'all think? You think it's 50% possible? You think it's 20% possible, 10% possible, 90% possible? I would want to hear your thoughts on this. As you know, I hold both. Okay, I have a comparable position in each of these. So, want to hear your thoughts. Thank you everyone who's liked, shared, and subscribed. Take care. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next video.